What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Neil Druckmann saying he wants to make a Punisher game. Now, this, it's not the biggest deal, I think, as a lot of people are making it, but it does pose the question of, can these things ever happen? Now, it wasn't just, by the way, the Punisher game that he was talking about, so I'll go through where we got that from, and we'll talk about if he would end up, if Naughty Dog or if him would end up doing it. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed, make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on so you know all these videos go up. And if you guys want to follow us over on Twitch, I'll leave a link for that in the description below. We try to live stream 1 or 2 times a week over there, and we also live stream every single Friday on YouTube, and we'd love to have you guys join us for those kind of things. Okay, so basically, Greg Miller tweeted out just randomly. Now, I don't know if maybe there's some sort of hidden thing behind the scenes going on there, but he tweeted out randomly, a question to Neil Druckmann: what are games that he would like to make? If he got to make his own game or establish IP, what would it be? And he said, Punisher was number 1, Half-Life, Ghost Rider, Hotline Miami, and Cowboy Bebop. So that is an interesting list, I would say. Now, again, remember, he says established IP. So this is Greg Miller asking him, if you had to take franchises that already exist and do something with them, what would you choose? And that was his list. And, it's people are running with it. People are talking about it. People are also talking about if it could ever happen. And I do think some of these are possible. At the same time, it's not as easy as literally, Neil Druckmann is in a high position of power, okay, very, very high position of power, but he can't literally just make whatever he wants, specifically because he just dropped the thing, established IPs. These are all owned by somebody, okay? So to go through Punisher, to go through Half-Life, I mean, good luck getting Half-Life, right? Any of these, he would have to go through the processes, and Naughty Dog would have to go through the processes of doing. And remember, saying it in like the nicest way possible, like he's stuck there. Again, he's like, what is he, like co-president of Naughty Dog? So he's in a pretty, I'm sure he's making a lot of money. I'm sure he's, fine considering what he's done in the past. Okay. So to say he's stuck there, maybe isn't the greatest way of saying it, but he is. He's there. He's probably going to be there for quite a long time. And Naughty Dog is owned by Sony. Naughty Dog is a PlayStation exclusive, powerhouse that just makes PlayStation exclusives. So any of these games would be PlayStation exclusive titles. So, one thing I do want to say, okay, like Punisher being a PlayStation exclusive would be interesting. I'm sure it would upset a lot of people as well, right? Because that would always happen. The interesting thing with Punisher is that being his number 1 is also, I would say, the most likely to one to happen. Maybe not to him, maybe not to Naughty Dog, but you see the rumors, and we've actually, I don't even know when it was, like a year ago, there were rumors of a Wolverine and a Daredevil game, both like individual games, being worked on. And, ever since then, it's been very on and off as to whether or not it's going to happen. Troy Baker has always been very into the idea of Daredevil. Just actually a week or so ago, he posted a tweet of somebody talking about a Daredevil game, like, hey, let's get a Daredevil game made or something like that. And he did like the googly eyes, like looking at them, like the big eyes staring at them. And again, like these are things that could be very, very random. We know from, like Gotham Knights or Batman Arkham, like when Roger Craig Smith does stuff or Kevin Conroy does stuff. I mean, a lot of it is, I think, just like kind of trolling us, to be honest, which is not really the nicest thing in the world. But, so Troy Baker could be doing that. He could just genuinely be interested in it. But the point is, to be honest with you, I really think a Daredevil game could be happening. Now, we know about the rumored Guardians of the Galaxy game. Obviously, there's Marvel's Avengers, there's Spider-Man. It's not, by the way, when I was saying, like, hey, you'd have to go through the processes to get Punisher as a PlayStation exclusive, it's not like they haven't been through the process with, like, Spider-Man, but Spider-Man's Sony, so we'll have to see if it could ever happen. But, hey, if a Daredevil game, if a Wolverine game, even if just one of those 2 games ends up happening, okay, besides Guardians of the Galaxy, I think is too separate from these, but if one of those 2 happens, I do think a Punisher game would work. And really, I mean, Punisher, I think, would be an amazing game to be able to pull off. I love the Punisher TV show. I think they do an amazing job on Netflix, and I think it would be a really, really good thing to see. Do I want Neil Druckmann making it? Well, that's a different question, right? This is, by the way, this is completely separate from anything that you think about the guy or anything that you think about Naughty Dog, right? It doesn't really apply. Now, if a game gets off the ground and running, we see the game, then we are free to attack it or love it or praise it or whatever you guys want to do. But it is interesting. It was it's kind of weird because it was literally just not a throwaway, but it was just a random like pop-in question. Okay, that was just random. I mean, I could ask the question, he wouldn't answer it, but I could just ask the question one day on Twitter. There's literally dozens of stories online talking about like Neil Druckmann wants to make a Punisher game, a thing to, and then and again, like even probably the way I titled this video, right? I mean, the basic point is, again, he was asked if he could do an established IP game, what would it be? And number one was Punisher. Doesn't mean he's literally going to, the president of Naughty Dog and Jim Ryan and all the upper echelon. I was gonna say Shuhei Yoshida, but he was moved into the indie team, sadly enough. But it's not like he's going to them like begging them on his hands and knees to make a Punisher game. Okay. In fact, as we just talked about yesterday, very much seems like they're doing a fantasy game next. Okay, and then you got to imagine you got to do Last of Us 3 within the next 5 to 8 years, let's say. So if you even were to consider making a game that was outside of those two, you're looking at probably like another 10 years, like another decade before we get that game. Kind of what sucks about the gaming industry is, and as we've talked about that for superhero games, it's like all of these games sound incredible unless there's like a surge of teams making, especially like DC stuff. We talk a lot about DC superhero games. Maybe we could even do Marvel, unless there's a surge of like dozens of studios coming in, right, to and opening up to make superhero games. You only have select few. Takes them 3, 4, 5 years to make each. You can't want, I mean, you can want whatever you want, but if you expect them to make, say, 10 superhero games, well, do you have, 40, 50 years on your hands that you would like to see them do it? Because that's how long ultimately it would take. You know what I mean? So let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think? Do you think a Punisher game would ever happen? Do you think Neil Druckmann would be the one to do it? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. Again, if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, the link for that is in the description below. Would love to have you guys over there. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.